Welcome back, everybody. NASA is breathing new life into the question, is there someone else out there in the universe? This week, scientists announced the discovery of 7 Earth-sized planets circling one star called TRAPPIST-1. And now they're trying to figure out if any of those planets could support life or if any of them have water.
With this amazing system, we know that there must be many more potentially life-bearing worlds out there just waiting to be found.
Finding a second Earth is not just a matter of if, but when.
Well, we won't be visiting the planets anytime soon. They're about 40 light years away, or 235 trillion miles. So right now, scientists will rely on telescopes to help analyze what's out there. And one of those scientists is joining us this morning, Dr. Susan Lederer, a lead scientist of optical measurements and orbital debris at NASA. She also leads research in planetary science. Dr. Lederer, thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome.
This is so exciting for you and scientists all over the world, really.
Absolutely.
So now some of these planets are in a habitable zone, maybe 3 of them?
Yes, 3, possibly 4, depending on the models that you look at. So what that means is that is the ideal zone for liquid water to exist on the surface of the planets. And if you have liquid water on the surface of a planet, as we know on Earth, there's every possibility for life to exist and to form.
So what is the next step for us here on Earth, as scientists? I mean, how do we explore this? I guess with telescopes?
Absolutely. That's the way that we're going to use, and one of the most important telescopes out there to answer this question is called the James Webb Telescope, which is going to be tested here in Houston starting in April of this year. It's a 6.5-meter telescope. It's very big. It's going to be launched into space, and it's perfect for finding the chemical fingerprints to see whether life might exist on one of these planets.
And so this telescope is bigger than the Hubble?
Yes, Hubble is only 2.5 meters. This is 6.5 meters. It's quite a bit bigger.
And how were we able to find these planets?
These planets were discovered by a very small telescope in South America when there was a tiny bit of starlight that actually looked like it got a little bit fainter in something that we call a transit. And about 1.5 years ago, there was a transit of this planet that blocked out a little bit of starlight, and we knew from that point that there could be planets. So a lot of follow-up observations with a lot of different telescopes, 7 on the Earth and 3 out in space.
And this sun that they're circling, it's a dwarf star, is that right?
It is an ultra-cool dwarf star, which means that it is one of the smallest stars that can exist and still burn or fuse hydrogen into helium and be a star.
So if our sun is the size of a basketball, this sun is the size of a golf ball.
That's correct. It's much smaller.
So what does that mean in terms of life in those planets that are circling it?
So if you're going to have life on a planet there, it means that the planets have to be much, much closer because the star is giving off a lot less energy. So to be in that habitable zone, that Goldilocks zone, you have to be very close to the star. And these planets are very close, which is great because it means that we can watch the planets as they transit across the star much more frequently. In fact, 1 year on any of these planets lasts only from 1.5 days to about 20 days.
So through telescopes and other means, other than finding out whether there's life on these planets, what's the benefit in researching these planets for us? Unlocking the secrets of the universe, perhaps, or what?
Yes, certainly this particular sort of star is the most common in all of the universe. And so understanding this small subset of stars gives us a much better feel for what planets are like, whether or not planets, and rocky planets in particular, are really common in the universe or not.
Awesome stuff. All right, thank you for joining us, Dr.
welcome.
Susan Lederer with NASA. Of course, if you want to check out an interactive view of the planets, we've got it posted on our website. You know what that is, of course, khou.com.